Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is basically my ear piercing experience. So I did a couple of these videos like a couple weeks ago because I got my third holes pierced, and then I got this flat piercing. But today I went and got this tragus piercing and this conch piercing. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all the experience of the whole process of everything. Okay, so basically I found this piercing place and it's like my new favorite place. It's really clean, it has a nice setup, and when I first went there the girl was really nice, right? But I was like, let me get new piercings. So I knew I wanted to get the tragus done because I have this tragus done, and I feel like it's one of my least painful ones. So I was like, oh, I'll just get this one done, right? And I was looking for another one to do at the same time, just so I wouldn't have to pay the piercing fee that it comes with or whatever. So it's technically worth your money to get like two at the same time or whatever. So I chose the conch piercing because people said the conch was less painful than the rook piercing, because the rook goes up here and people said it's just way more painful or whatever. So I just got the conch, right? So I walk into the place. The girl that did my other piercing before, she wasn't there. So I was like, oh god, here we go. So it was this girl with a whole bunch of piercings in her face, and it was a guy with a whole bunch of piercings in his face. Okay, and I tried to go here on Sunday and it was hella crowded. I don't know why everybody is getting piercings now, because the one time I went there was literally nobody in there, and I forgot what day that was. Okay, so I went Sunday, it was hella crowded, and today it was a Tuesday. Okay, I walk in, there's like a family there waiting for a baby to get pierced, and then there's like a couple, and then there's like a girl and her dad, which is less people than there was on Sunday, right? So I'm like, okay, let me wait in this line. Okay, so I got in the line, the guy talked to me, he had me fill out the papers, got a picture of my ID, the normal process, right? And I don't know, I feel like whenever I deal with men just aren't paying attention. They kind of like rush the process. They're not necessarily like super nice and pretend customer service like the women do or whatever. So after he did that, he told me to go sit over there and he'll call me when I'm ready, whatever. And then he was setting up, doing other people, whatever, and then he calls me up and he's like, okay, so let's pick out some jewelry. Okay, so we looked at the cases, and me personally, I was low-key just gonna get the cheapest jewelry, which is a ball that I get for all of my new piercings. So this one still has the ball in it because it's still in its healing phase. Okay, and I got the ball for this one, and then I realized the conch is all the way in there. It's gonna be hella difficult for me to change it myself even after it heals, so I was like, I might as well get a real piece of jewelry all up in there, okay, because I'm not trying to go through all that process, right? So basically I walked around the case. He's not even explaining the pricing of everything or saying what's your price range, or do you have a specific type of jewelry. He's not even asking the questions that the first girl asked me last time, right? So I was like, okay, fine. So I told him, I walked around myself and I kind of picked out this jewelry because this is one of the jewelry that I seen in the other conch videos that I was watching on TikTok or whatever, just some type of curved little jewelry or whatever, how it looks like three little gemstones in there. And I knew for the tragus one, I just wanted a regular ball. I don't care, doesn't have to be fancy, because this tragus, it healed pretty fast, and I literally just changed this one myself after having it for 3 years. I just now changed it, so this one is pretty much all the way healed, right? So I told him, since I'm probably getting real jewelry on this, I'll just take a ball on this side. And he was like, a ball? He looked thrown back, he thought I would get something more expensive, or a little stud like this or something. And I was like, yeah, a ball. I was like, I don't care if this one is fancy, but this one, I'll take that one, right? And of course, I don't know if they had different sections, because nothing in there is price. There's no prices on the shit, and I hate when they don't put a price, because you just have a bunch of jewelry laying around. I could have picked something out that I loved and it's like $3 million, and now I can't get it because it's $3 million, you know? So he was like, okay, like I'll go price it for you, okay, after I picked out what I wanted. And then he went to the cash register pressing random ass buttons, and they charged like a $26 service fee. I don't know why they do that. And then the jewelry, like I think the plain ball cost like $30. And then apparently this one, the one I fucking picked out, cost like $75. Because it's like stainless steel, diamond, I don't know, some quality stuff. Okay. So I was like, God damn. So technically I walked in, I was only expecting to pay like $100. Okay. Next thing you know, I'm paying $140 just because this one happened to be $70. And I was like, technically I could have been like, oh, never mind, that one's too expensive, let me find a cheaper one or whatever. But I just wanted to get over it, right? Because I had already been waiting for 20 minutes. Okay. So then he's like, okay, like that's good, whatever. And then I pay, sit back down. And then he does the baby's piercings first. And then he does like the couple's piercing, does both of them. And then he finally calls me up to the chair. And when people are getting pierced, there's like a door that they leave open. Like there was 2 rooms, right? So he was the main piercer. The girl wasn't helping him at all. She wasn't doing any piercing. She was basically like the little front desk girl. But I found it weird because she kept like running behind him, like into the room, trying to talk to him while he was literally piercing people. Or like, I don't know, she was like bothering him, like, or flirting with him, whatever you want to call it, right? So pretty much after those people went, I was sitting in there. He wiped the chairs, so I was like, okay, it's sanitary. But I don't like how they leave the door open so everyone that's waiting right there can see me, okay? Because what if I start crying or like making weird faces? Like, I don't like that, okay? So he left the door open, and then the girl came in, and she was like, can I come in here? And I looked at her, I'm like, yeah, because he didn't even start, first of all. And second of all, am I gonna say no? You know? So she walks in and she's like, oh, look at these new stickers I made. And he looks over, he's like, okay. Like, I'm like, what? Why are you showing him stickers, bro? You have a whole client sitting right here. That's awkward as fuck. And then he had like Bluey on the table from when he was piercing the baby's ears or whatever. And then he was like, sorry, let me turn this shit off before I start because this is gonna drive me fucking crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. So he like exits out Bluey, and it's like one of those fire remotes or whatever. So he's like putting on Netflix. He puts on Big Bang Theory, and I've never seen that show or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. But that was like another awkward 2 minutes of silence, and I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, he started to like set up. He got his needles out, whatever. And as he's doing that, he's like setting up, but he's like looking at the TV. And I was just like, bro, why are you so fucking distracted? I've been waiting for 40 minutes now. Get me out of this place. And he's just like, I don't like people being distracted when they're doing like something like that. You know, that's like watching TV while doing brain surgery. Okay, like you have a pointy ass needle going towards my skull. You should not be having the TV on, okay? So he got everything ready. He like sanitized me multiple times, both ears, whatever. But the thing is, when men do piercings, they are extremely heavy-handed, okay? Because when I got this tattoo done by a man, this was my only tattoo done by a man, right? And he was pressing into my fucking skin. And that's why this tattoo hurt more than it should have, okay? So that's the same thing with piercings, right? And a man did my first couple of piercings, like my belly button and like my nose and stuff like that. But this guy, he went unnecessarily hard for no reason. And I was like, dang, is he piercing the baby's ears like this? Right? Because he did this one first and he jammed that shit in there. And I was like, ooh. You know, like he told me take a deep breath and all that stuff. But I feel like that stuff does not really help. It don't really help me, for real. But that one hurt like a bitch. And I don't know, once again, I don't know if that's like the real pain level of it, or if that was just him being heavy-handed, right? And then he did this one, and this one hurt more than I remember, because I got this one done like, 3 years ago or whatever. But I don't remember it being that hard. Okay. So after I did both of them, he cleaned me up or whatever, and then he was like, "Oh, do you need aftercare?" And I was like, "Bro, I don't need any aftercare. I literally just paid at the desk." That's when you're supposed to sell people the aftercare, the little spray bottle stuff. That's when you're supposed to sell it, okay? And me, in the past, I used to just say yes to everything and be like, "Oh yeah, like I'll take some cleaning spray, I'll take some disinfectant soap or whatever." I used to say all that stuff, right? And then it would basically be like an extra 10, 15, $20 on top of the $100, $200 I already paid for a piercing or a tattoo, right? So this time, he was like, "You need aftercare?" And I was like, "Nope." And I walked out the door because, first of all, you see me with all these other piercings. Like, I should know how to clean piercings by now. And obviously, like, the conch is, like, different because it's, like, inside my ear. So it's probably harder to clean. But I don't care. I can watch a YouTube tutorial. TikTok tutorial, okay? I don't need all that, right? And I still have my spray from the last couple piercings I got, right? Because the bottle is this big for one piercing. Like, are you supposed to use a whole bottle over the course of a couple months until it heals? I don't know. Maybe I'm not using it enough, but it's like I feel like I still have like a whole bottle full from my piercing, like from this piercing a couple months ago, you know? So yeah, I don't know. Overall, I don't know, like I'm just happy. I'm just excited for this tragus to heal and I could put some little stuff in there. And then on my conch, it looks really cute because you could see it from a distance. Okay. And I didn't know like where to put it either because he had me like check the holes like when he was drawing the dot on there. And I was like, yeah, that's good enough. I don't know the fucking placement where it's supposed to be. So I'm like, it's supposed to be like in the hole of your ear, but I'm like, is it a little too high? I don't know. But all I know is that's probably gonna be in my ear for like years because I don't feel like I probably won't be going back to the place to have them change it, and I probably won't change it myself because that's too much work. So yeah, I'm trying to decide what piercings to get next because I'm gonna give it like 6 months though before I get any new ones. But the thing is that I just thought about, I wanted like these two, right? But I realized I can't wear headphones in this ear because of my tragus, and I can't wear headphones because of this conch, you know? So I kind of didn't plan that really well, but I just didn't know what other piercings to get because I have my third holes. Technically my third holes are still ear healing. So I have 3 holes on each right here, and then I have 2 cartilage. And then on this side, I have 1 flat because I never had cartilage on this ear. So I literally just got a random flat. And I feel like flat is low-key the same as cartilage, is it not? But they don't really line up, you know? So I can't get like another one under here. And I told her I wanted flat because flat is usually like in the middle of your ear. But she said she didn't want to do that because it's too close to my head. Because I guess that's just the way my ears are set up. There's like hella space right there, but like the back of it would just be like hitting my skull. So that's why she put it like over here, but it kind of just looks like a regular cartilage now, you know? And I don't want an industrial, so I'm trying to think of like other stuff to get. And I saw there's like people get like the surface piercings I've seen like on their face, but I realized I don't have that part of my ear. Like it's like right on top of their ear right here, but I don't even have that part because my ears are just like really small. So and a rook, people said a rook is like low-key painful. That's why I went with the conch because I felt like all piercings hurt, all tattoos hurt, but like conch would hurt less. But I don't know, because this was supposed to be like my crazy ear, because I was planning to put a hoop in this one. Once the conch heals, I want a hoop going across. And then maybe I'll have room for my 4th holes. But then this ear will look like hella crowded. So I'm like, I don't know. I like this space right here. So I might get a conch right in this space, you know? And then I'll probably get a rook. But I don't know, it's like I'm running out of space. I want like way more, but it's like, how much more do I have left? And then I feel like my last one is probably gonna be my septum piercing, because I do want a septum if I do have the anatomy for it. Because I can't get a nose piercing on this side because my mole is there and it would look weird. So I want a septum. And in a perfect world where I didn't have to work a job, I would get like the piercing right here in the middle of my lips, and then probably an eyebrow piercing. But not those in real life, because I don't want to fuck up my face if they end up rejecting, and like it's gonna, anything in the mouth is uncomfortable, you know. So I don't know. But yeah, that was my piercing experience. I would recommend the Tragus to like anybody who's looking for another piercing to do, because I feel like all of your lobes were pretty easy, and I feel like Tragus is like the next step up, because I feel like it low-key hurts less than the cartilage, and it heals well because it's like kind of inside your ear. And then apparently, like, they say the conch sometimes heals well because it's inside your ear. So I don't know, but all I know is I gotta be careful on both sides. So I'm like, how am I gonna sleep? I don't know. I need to get my travel pillow out of my suitcase. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.